Barcelona hard on the body and the tires, especially over a very long stint. Turn 10 is the secondary passing zone that was remodeled in 2021 into a more gently arching left-hander, and it still remains one of the key places to attack under braking. Turn 11 is a short transition right where drivers try to settle the car, start building the run into the last sector. We go into turn 12. It's more about rhythm rather than overtaking. Barcelona rewards the drivers who keep the flow alive here instead of overdriving it. Turn 13 is one of the biggest changes on the modern layout. It's now a fast sweeping right that replaced the old chicane section and slingshocks the car toward the main straight. Turn 14 is the final right-hander before the 600-meter straight. And the exit is huge because the last sector is so much faster than it used to be, and it can help you set up an attack coming into turn 1. Turn 1 and 10 are going to be your main pattern. Mercedes today. Mercedes trying to stay up front in the standings after Rage's flying lap. We'll take a look at the results from Miami and whatnot, as Rage is going to set a 112.556. It'll be the first flyer. Here comes Moopsy around. And I believe we'll have a Ferrari of Silver Moon that will just start a flyer. Moopsy going to go about 6/10, a little bit slower. And Cappy just starting his flying lap. Hooping Egg trailing right behind. Quaint Dragon. Quaint is the only one. Draw actually is the only one that has not done it. That is just on the outlap right now. The V-Carb just started his. Artie Gamer just finished up his first sector going into Sector 2. George will set a 114.0, and right behind Rage is Massa Crater, just about 22 hundredths of a second. Talk about a race of margins there, as it was a very, very close. Very, very close. So the Mine Duel will be replaced by Draw, Quaint Dragon, and we will get the first couple of laps here. So only 11 rounds for the URS as opposed to the usual 12. Singapore getting canceled, and we may have a makeup race at some point. Hooping Egg gonna go a 112.0, and Silver Moon crosses the line. Just barely faster, 5/1000ths of a second slower than Rage. So we might see some good racing in the Ferrari. Silver Moon still looking for that first race win. He podiumed back in Miami and ended up taking 8th. So scoring a couple of very solid points for Ferrari in the opening race, and then jumping up to the podium, scoring 15. He's at 19 points on the season, right in the middle of the pack, and his qualifying wasn't to them to have a good enough gap, so they're not interfering with each other going into turn 5 coming into turn 5. And I believe someone is going to slow. That's going to be George in the Red Bull having to slow down, but we'll get back to the green flags as coming into turn 7 and 8 all the way up into turn 9 is Massa Crater, trying to go a little bit quicker, just has to beat the provisional pole leader of Rage. He's at a 112.556. Massa Crater at a 112.588. So just about 28/10ths or 28/100ths of a second separate these two drivers. Purple in Sector 2, coming into Sector 3 off turn 12 into turn 13 for the Aston Martin, coming down into turn 14, hitting the apex well, looking to cross the timeline, doesn't go wide, gonna use the slipstream of the Williams. It's a 112.437 for Massa Crater, and we have a new provisional pole leader, and Silver Moon gonna snatch that away by a 2/10ths of a second. Anything you can do, I can do better. It's a real case of that here in Barcelona, as Silver Moon snatches provisional pole away from the Aston Martin. So Silver Moon currently provisional pole. Massa Crater up in P2. Moopsy in the pits. So is George. Cappy on a flying lap right now. 115.6 is the time for him right now. Hooping Egg gonna go 112.0. Cappy gonna try and beat that time. He's 2/10ths faster, 3/10ths faster, but it's not going to make anything happen. Hooping Egg is now the new provisional pole leader. Massacrator hops down to third. Silver Moon up into P2 as he just runs into the pit lane with Massacrator. RD Gamer and Rage in the P4-5 spot right now, but RD Gamer looking to try and make that up a little bit more, trying to make up a couple of places as he's at a 112.4, crossing his counterparts. I believe he actually just set that time, and the Mercedes right behind him is Hooping Egg. So Hooping Egg, I think, trying to go for a little bit of a quicker lap, but he's at a 112.0, unless he's just trying to get back into the garage. Maybe going for 2 push laps, then going back into the garage. RD Gamer is 2 seconds slower than his original time. And we'll have a disconnect there from Cappy. So RD Gamer, I wonder if he's going into the pit lane, and he's going to dive into the pit lane and get a fresh set of soft tires. 5 minutes left to go. I would not be surprised if everyone hops into the pit lane right now as we wait for Zeno to come in, and Cappy's still out there with the AI driving. Going to get invalidated, but I do believe he did leave because of the invalidation. The Red Bull on an out lap right now. So George making the server debut, the race debut. We'll get the chance. Here comes Pelicanis just joining into the lobby for the first time with 5 minutes. So a crash from Ross. For the invites. So we should be good to go. Hooping Egg gonna go 111.8 as Draw gonna lose some time after spinning out. So is George. He's gonna get his lap time invalidated. Anyone else driving right now, it does not look like it, but everyone else on the out lap. Silver Moon gonna try and cross the timeline. Everyone who's on an out lap right now should have enough time to cross the timeline. RD Gamer might be able to get in 2 laps here. If he crosses the timeline quick enough, he'll get 2 quick laps for the Haas. RD Gamer starting a flying lap, looking to go up into P1 provisional pole. The time to beat is 111.893. Cappy starting his flyer as well, and Draw also on a flyer. Moopsy just crossing the timeline for the flying lap. Silver Moon about to cross the timeline too to start the flying lap. Silver Moon in P2. So here we go for the fastest part of qualifying. 60 seconds left to go. This is where the chaos all happens. RD Gamer looking to try and make something happen. He's at a 112.455. His teammate Rage is 112.556. So trying to see if they get some rivalry there within the Haas, trying to overtake each other. George going to retire from the session. He'll set a 113.5. So he will be at the lowest. Cappy has to shave off 2 seconds. Pelican is going to retire from the session as well. RD Gamer, 0.08 of a second faster than his original time through the first 2 sectors, coming out of turn 10, 11, and into turn 12, coming through turn 13. Watch out for that front left tire. It takes a beating throughout these laps, coming around turn 14, and RD Gamer gonna cross the timeline at a 112.3, so he'll hop all the way up into P3. Silver Moon gonna try and make something happen into turn 12, coming down into turn 13. And into turn 14, we'll see what happens. Qualifying has finished. Hooping Egg on provisional pole right now at a 111.8. 112.1 is the time for the Ferrari. So it looks like the Mercedes will be on the top spot. It'll be Mercedes Ferrari front row. RG Gamer going to try it. Or sorry, this is Massacrator, who's looking to make something happen. RD Gamer already finishing his flyer. Rage sets a 112.4, so not much faster. He'll stay down in P5. So Moopsy can't really move down under his own power, and he'll cross the timeline here. The time will go 112.1. He'll hop up into the front row. RD Gamer getting 1 more lap in. He's 2 seconds slower, so not a lot of improvement there. The Mercedes of Draw not going to make anything happen as he will stay still back down in turn 9 with time winding down, and he will stay in P6. Xenoc in the pit, so not allowed to get another lap time in. And Cappy diving into the pit lane as well. So qualifying is finished. That is your starting grid, as Hooping Egg up in P1, Masa Crater in P2, Silver Moon in P3, RD Gamer and Rage P4 and 5. P6 it will be Quaint Dragon of Draw, Moopsy in P7, Xenoc in P8, Junko George 9 and 10, Cappy in 11, and Pelicanus in P12.